Hi everybody, my name is Patsy Freeman and I'm feeling called to make some videos that I hope you'll find helpful and supportive in these times. I'm going to record, this one is the first, this is recorded, so I'll record the first two, maybe three, and after that we can go live. Let's see how it goes. I've not done this before. This is such a great way to connect with one another. And in these times, we so need to do this. Well, firstly, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I've had three distinct and very different professions to date. And I can see now, it's amazing how all three are just coming together so beautifully. My first profession was that of a nurse. I trained in Oxford and then went on to become a health visitor in the community. We then went to spend a year in California on a teaching exchange, and when we got back, I didn't have a job in the health service anymore. So that was a very interesting time. I got quite depressed actually and didn't know what to do with myself. So I decided, after deciding what do I really want to do, is I wanted to work for myself. And so I trained as a health and fitness teacher, and after 6 months got my little bit of paper that said, right, you can go out now and teach public classes. So I did and absolutely loved it. And I wrote for a magazine and compiled exercises for people to do at home. So this actually turned into a really, really lovely 12 years for me. So I did my nursing and health visiting for 12 years and then the teaching classes for 12 years. And then there was another change, and it was after a rather painful divorce when I decided to apply to university to study psychology. So by now I am 42 years of age, and anyone over the age of 24 is considered a mature student. So I was doubly mature, if you like. I loved the psychology, absolutely loved it. And when the 3 years were up, I decided to go into train as a counsellor, using some NLP and hypnotherapy. And I got a job in a GP practice, not as a nurse this time, but as a counsellor. So that was very interesting, being on another receiving end. And then I worked in clinical psychology, and then moved south. I wanted to be by the sea and opened my own private practice. There was another change to come in my life, and it was the biggest one of all. 7 years ago, my youngest daughter, Jasmine, was diagnosed with breast cancer. She died 15 months later. I didn't want to live. I didn't know how to go on with my life. I couldn't see any future. I decided to write to her and went out and bought myself a beautiful notebook with a lovely hardcover and wrote letters to her. Sometimes I was cross with her for having left me and died. Sometimes I was just sad, but whatever I was feeling, I was putting onto the page. It was really helpful. It meant that the grief was not staying stuck inside my body, it was moving. And that's what we really want with grief. We want to keep it moving. What happened, what really changed everything, was 4 months after Jasmine died, I was sitting quietly with a cup of tea, with a candle lit beside her photograph, when I felt her presence around me. It's extraordinary. Words don't really do it any justice. And then I had tingling all around my head and neck and shoulders. And I knew it was Jasmine. And she just came back to tell me that she was nearby, although in a different form, and I wouldn't be able to see her. She sent me several signs. over a period of 18 months. Her picture painting that she'd done dropped off the wall. I heard this great crash outside my door. A brass lamp began swinging. And my grandson was staying at the time, and he said, "Oh, that's Auntie Jasmine, isn't it?" So it was a whole new world opened up to me. And I knew without any doubt that life does not end when the body dies, that life really is eternal. One of the things that happened was we developed a form of telepathic communication, and I was able to hear my daughter sort of in my mind, and I didn't have to speak aloud to return what she was saying, to respond. And she did say to me at one point, "Mum, you need to write a book. You need to tell people about your experiences because it'll help them. And I'm going to help you." So I hadn't thought about that before. So that's how it came about. I got pushed, nudged, and it's not really my book, it's our book. So the book is in the process of being published. It's not out yet. It'll be out towards the end of May probably, and it's called In Search of You, Letters to a Daughter, because that's what I was doing. I was searching for her. So I'm not going to say too much more about the book, except that it will help a number of people, especially those who are grieving for a loss, who are feeling sad, and it will help especially parents who have lost a child. So that's all I'm going to say. This is the first post, and there will be more to come. I'd like to look at ways of breathing, how we can ground ourselves. So do join me again. It's been so nice connecting with you. Let's do it again. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.